Okay. Then, what parents are expected for children? They would like the children to be stimulated, to be smarter, to have more knowledge, and to find their talent. For me, apps are really important because children will have a lot of universe just under their fingers. They will discover a lot of things thanks to the apps, and then perhaps it's much easier to know why they are made of. That's a huge advantage of the apps. And for the parents, it's really important to link the digital to real life. For example, children have to manipulate, not only to touch a screen, especially when they are between 0 to 6 years old. Then it could be a good idea to make some stuff in plastic or wood, like tigli or marbotique in France. Children can play with it like with a puzzle and play on the screen with an app to learn the letters or the number or things like that. And to manipulate as well, we can ask the children to look around them and to touch, to take some pictures, to compose big pictures with some details like here, and that's another way to make them look around them and use the app in another way and the screen. The other what is really important for parents as well is personalization. They always want the app to fit perfectly to the children. Then it's good to have a tick box like that and to choose really what they want the children to exercise. Then they can seek what is important for them. The quiet. Parents would like the children to be nerved or to play a really stressful game. Then, like in Monument Valley, for example, it's a really quiet game and really engaging game. The vocabulary, high level required, please. Be so chic. There's no need to use slang in the apps, and thanks to the apps we can put some flashcards to explain some words, and that's a good opportunity to let the children discover new vocabulary. On the Facebook page, I asked the parents what they are expecting for kids in the apps. That's the result, and I was quite surprised because they didn't mention the price. In France, when I started Super Julie, a lot of parents wanted some free apps always, but now they are slowly understand that the apps are better when you pay for that. And they would like some quality for the children. That's a good point. After that, I made a second poll, and I gave some keywords they have to choose. Then, when I saw the result, I had a big hammer stroke on the head. Graphic arts are at the 7th place, and I spoke with some apps editors, and it's just because parents are unconscious about the importance of the graphic arts, of course, but they want them to be educational at first. The other thing is gamification, the gameplay. Gameplay concerned the parents it's to link with the ludic aspect, because when the kids didn't get didn't go straight in the app, they will ask the parents, and parents could be annoyed with that. And it's good to make something really easy to understand. And in the really successful apps, pedagogical aspect is the gameplay itself, like in Dragon Box. The keys to move forward are the acquisition of the to-do equations. The other point is creativity. That's for after. Creativity, parents would like the children to be creative, because it's really it's a point that is more and more important. To attract the children now, the very important points to attract them: be iconic. I will speak a little bit about Fox and Sheep. They are really foxy, because when they plan to launch a new app, they display some icons of the new one, some different icons of the new one in the former's app, and they measured how many it clicks, how many the people click on the icons, and after that they choose the higher rates. Of course, here the elephant is the winner. Don't be too academic. Children hate that. They understand more and more that they can learn by playing, and you learn much. I have this to display to understand why we shouldn't be too academic. And children learn much better and would like to do some algebra, to do some grammar when they are playing, of course. And for example, for me, when I have an app to test, I didn't want to make calculation just without any reason. But if I am chased by the big bad octopus, then I have to calculate really quickly, and I have to save my life. And because children are really playing a game, and they are entirely in the game, it's important for them to calculate quickly in this kind of situation. And because children will learn without pain, without to think about it, by playing an app in another situation, they will notice they have learned something new, and that's a good point as well. Suddenly they will go to the philharmonical orchestra and notice they know pretty well the difference between a basson, an oboe, a clarinet, and that's not what we used to teach at school, or what parents used to teach to children. Be ergonomic. Children will try once, not twice, and after they turn back to the older apps they used to play with. Waiting time is not acceptable. And the gameplay, of course, as said before, the easiest way to get in the app is the better. Then nothing to read, just something to watch, and you understand what you have to do. Don't make the children swipe for nothing. If it's just to draw the attention back, then just try something else. The other important points, but you know that it's the steps, they have to be harder and harder, but not too suddenly, because children will drop if it's too hard. Iteration. Children are not scared to try again and again 100 times. They will try to cross a road with a little penguins 100 times, then just put grammar and algebra in it, and as a matter of fact, they learn by repeating something that a good point, something interesting to use. Avatar, children like to have one, but I just read an article from Archie Apps about Marble Mass Junior. Mother wrote to them to say that the avatar have all light-skinned. There is only a light-skinned choice, and she was shocked. Then perhaps for an avatar, it's good to use something really simple, like in Monument Valley, Princess Ida is very just a shape, or Tiny Bob that use a shape, colored shape. It's simple and doesn't shock anyone. No reward, but a new step. Children don't care about fake trophy. A new step is a new level is good enough to know you success, and of course no penalty. Trial and error gives them confidence without punishment. Then they are confident to try several times. Then for me, the very important points for both parents and children. The keywords are easy to use, a cultural approach. It should meet the needs of the children. And through that, I thought, I advise think KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Like with this kind of app, there is some notions hard to explain to kids, like the DNA. It's quite hard to explain how it works. And with an app, you can show to not pupils, to children. Then you can change everything by moving by giving another information to the DNA sequence. Then in this app you will see the mouse is changing, the eyes are changing as well. Other point is think paper. This old stuff, but paper will parents and great parents really like the paper books, and that's a good point to appeal them to the digital. And with when books come with an augmented reality app, that will appeal the children as well. Then you can, perhaps you know this one, it's a very good one from Moonboot Studio, and this one is a new one that will go out, and it gives motions and colors and a lot of interesting things for the children. The other thing is think board games. That's strange, but yes, board games is not dead. And the children with manipulate interactive figurines use the iPhones, for example. They will play, and they will play together with the families, with friends, and the games will be augmented thanks to the digital device. That's interesting as well. Think stuffs with the everything machine from Tiny Bob. You can create some electrical circuits, connect device with sounds, cameras, lights, everything, and perhaps we could imagine to do these circuits in real life, perhaps with a special box with this kind of stuffs we can connect together. That could be funny. Think drawings, because parents and teachers who expect the children to hold properly a pencil, then children like to draw, they like to color, then we can let us create their own game, to draw the game and to animate it with with the device, with the tablet. That's draw your game, and that could be pretty funny. And Disney is just working on this kind of app. You will color, and with the tablet, your draw will be animated. And in France, Wakatoon did that. You have special drawings to colored, and then with the tablets, it makes a small animated cartoon. Think human as well. When you learn a foreign language, I think it's really important to correspond with someone, with another kid who speak this language. Like if you learn Spanish, it could be interesting to speak Spanish with someone from Spain. Then it's quite hard to do that in security with children, and to use a solution like Maily, that could be really a good deal, because with Maily, the parents can see all the emails that are exchanged, because it goes through their mailbox, and it's really safety. Then children could speak to someone else in the new language, and it's really engaging. They could discover a new civilization and new use. Think wow. The wow effect, be surprising. Put some magical things in everyday life. In Paris, an application was just launched. You are wandering in a park, and then you have a push notification that warns you can sit on a bench and listen a small story during 5 minutes. And that could be applied to education. We can put some perhaps we can tag some monuments, or you can be localized through the GPS, and then there could be some push notification on the cell phone of your parents, and you can learn something new by looking around you and discover something remarkable in your environment. It's quite hard to do, but that could be a new way to learn something. Think with 360 degree, the immersive apps. Children can visit places in the world, rebuild some destroyed castle with the tablets. That could be interesting for the monuments. My dream is a big atlas with some places you can just point in and visit with the 3D motion. And an app editor did that for fairy tales. Then you are in the fairy tale, and you are visiting the room and the forest around you. Think share tools like Facebook and Twitter. They are used in the classroom by the teachers. They share dictation. They share a lot of craft they do with pupils, then that should be used with the supervision of an adult, of course. But if you have beautiful graphic arts, you can share it quite easily. You have to find a shrewd way to do that, but it's not longer to ignore, I think. And the last thing, think code, because parents are very much aware of the benefits such a skill will bring to the children to empower them. Problem, neither parents nor teachers are able to teach how to code, how to program to the children. What we could imagine is a new game, a new story, for example. Then children will follow the story and suddenly it stops. Problem, a piece of the story is missing because children would have to code the following part with tutorials and guidelines, of course, and the child could program what will come next in the story and carry on by acting concretely to get the story continued. Like a story of which you are the hero, and you are double hero because you have to program what is coming next. Then to conclude, for me today, the essential quality sought in a human is to be creative. Many educational speeches denounce the fact that schools kill creativity. As a child, you have a personal vision of things that is not common, and your imagination is still unlimited. Einstein used to say, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Then children are not only simply users, but makers today. And an application should provide the tools to enable children to dream, not the best way to use it, but his personal way to use it, to reinvent the world indeed.
If you find any cultural difference regarding the polls you addressed on Facebook, do you think parents and kids' behavior might be universal? If you can share some insights about that.
No, of course it's not universal. There's big difference between USA and France, between France and Italy. Inside Europe, the use are not the same, and markets are quite quiet in Europe. But the productions are great. And right now, there's a huge political volunteer to put some digital in the pupil's life. Then slowly, parents are considered digital as a real opportunity to develop new skills for the children. But till now, it was really quiet in comparison with USA, for example.